Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, this is Northtown News Magazine, and I'm Marty Levinson.
Hey, no you're not.
I object!
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, the real Marty Levinson. All these people have been doing me for 7 years, maybe 8 years, but I really am the Marty Levinson that you all want to see. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host of 22 years on television, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. Community policing, thanks for participating in National Line Out, caps24.org. Police Memorial Candlelight Vigil, September 13th. Just east of Soldiers Field, get off at 18th and Lakeshore Drive, free parking. And Jewish Chicago will be coming out for the start of early voting. So please make sure you participate. It is a pleasure to introduce you to somebody we had on the show, who we actually did endorse in the primary, who won, and that is Jim Hanlon. How you doing?
Terrific, Avi. How are you?
Real good. Now, you're running for judge, and the 12th Subcircuit is where all the action is this year. There's actually 4 different races.
There are 4 vacancies, and the races with Democrats and Republicans in all 4 races, which is unique in the county.
Extremely unique. As a matter of fact, it's usually, in most places, it's vote Democrat, and then the Republican is either blank or it says danger 50,000 votes, depending on the mayor. So you're not allowed to, when you run for judge, you're not allowed to campaign like a regular candidate campaigns.
Well, in terms of making promises,
Yeah.
people's usual idea of what politicians do in campaigning, no, we don't do that. But we do go out, meet people, talk about our credentials, our experience, let people try and get to know us. Because as I tell people, you're much more likely to be in front of a judge than you are your state legislator, your congressman, or any other mayor, any other elected official. So it's important for you to get comfortable with who we elect as a judge.
No question. And it's not like you have any real control over the guy. It can just affect his life, his freedom, his health, his divorce.
Exactly.
His financial well-being, his children,
Right.
Tons. It's important. People, I always urge people, you got to vote, you ignore the judge thing, you're wrong. 2 years ago in the 12th,
Right.
there was one extremely fine candidate who had good marks from all the bar organizations. His opponent had 11 of 12 bad marks, and nobody had a good word to say about the guy. And, people without even thinking, maybe they just looked at the last name, maybe they just looked at party affiliation, but didn't look at the quality of the candidate, voted the lousy guy in. It was unbelievable. And the other guy's one of the top and most respected judges in the state. Start at the bottom of the ballot. Do your homework. Pick up Jewish Chicago. It'll be there. Look at the bar. We look at all the bar association ratings. We've got a panel of experts. You're also not necessarily allowed to talk about subjects that you might actually have to rule on.
Correct. Issues that may come before the court.
But you know what? I strongly believe in the first place that it's a person's character, whether it's judge or state representative or alderman, not that too many of them have character. There are a few exceptions.
Some are characters.
A lot are characters. I mean, there's a few good ones, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, judges tend to be a much more high-quality group of people than any other people running on the ballot or for elected office.
I agree. And people who are running for judge in the main are not politicians. They haven't run for other things. They've been practicing lawyers, that's my situation, but they want to be on the bench. And in order to do that, you've got to run. And so I do. I spend my time letting people get to know me as best you can, and publishing my bar ratings, which are the best in my race. But to let people get to know me as a person, whether I'm meeting them at a train station, at their front door, at an event, just talking to them and letting them know, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah. By the way, just for your own information, I've interviewed this guy a few times over the years, and he really is a really nice guy. That I got to say.
I appreciate
Well, thank you. I like having nice people on the show. With you, I never have to worry about taking out the Q-tips. Why don't you tell us about your background?
Sure. Practiced law for 32 years, most of it in big firm setting. I was at Cat Mushin Zavis, as it was known then, for the first 18 years of my career, currently with a firm called Novus Law. But it's always been a commercial litigation practice. I went to law school at DePaul. I was an undergraduate student at DePaul. My focus has always been, as I say, commercial litigation.
Commercial litigation, very good. And there's definitely a lot of that stuff going through the courts.
Yes, among other things.
So how big is, what are the boundaries of the 12th Subcircuit?
It's the north and northwest suburbs, depending on where you want to start. If you start in the far northeast corner, Glencoe, coming down along the lakefront to the north end of Wilmette, goes west along the northern border is Lake Cook Road, almost all the way to Route 53. So it encompasses Arlington Heights, down to Elk Grove Village, Des Plaines, Park Ridge, Mount Prospect, Prospect Heights, Glenview, Northbrook, where I live, Wheeling. So it's geographically fairly big. It's the single largest subcircuit in terms of registered voters of any of the subcircuits.
Interesting. But it doesn't surprise me either, because most of these places are actually quality suburbs.
I think so.
No, they are. I mean, they're suburbs and they're suburbs. I'd rather spend a lot more time there than a place like Robbins.
Well, it's certainly socioeconomic. It's a little on the higher end, but it's quality people. I see that. I walk every precinct that I can get to in any corner of the subcircuit, and the people are thrilled to meet you. They don't often get to meet judicial candidates, and so I have great conversation after great conversation with people.
What do you learn when you talk to these people?
I learned that there's actually, they have more faith and confidence in our judicial system than I think most people might guess. When you talk to them individually, they may have a little less faith in our executive or legislative branches.
Or none.
But the judicial branch, they view as, independent, as it should be. And they're really keen to learn about somebody coming to their door or meeting them at an event. And asking for their vote to be a judge.
No, I think that's very cool. And, I've actually served on a jury, and it was really an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
And, even though I might say certain things, I had a certain reverence for the process, and I really kind of enjoyed it. I thank God it was only a one-day trial, but, I was very happy to see that. I actually wanted to get picked the last time, too, because I covered judges, I covered judicial races, it'd be educational. But this was an 8-figure lawsuit, and it was going to stretch for at least a month. And thank God I had a very strong opinion on the subject due to the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association, and the judge excused me. He basically said, "You're out of here."
There are people, I've seen it when I'm picking juries, there are people you could tell they want out. And they've figured out what buttons to push, what things to say.
Well, actually, I didn't really want out. I mean, I did want out, but understand that I still feel you have to do things honestly.
Right.
So I actually had editorialized on the air and in print about the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association and against them. So I wasn't being dishonest about it. And I'm sure that you've got to, in commercial litigation, if you're picking a jury, that's a whole art unto itself.
It is, and actually, talking about your example remind me of one jury we're picking. There's a lawyer who's on the prospective jury panel, and he wants out because he's got business to attend to. Not that that makes him unique from anybody else in the panel, but he said everything in the world possible to try and get out. And the judge had a sidebar, said, "I'm going to let him out, but not before he squirms a little."
Good. He deserves it. Do you have a website?
I do. It's hanlon4judge.com, and Hanlon is spelled out the word F-O-R, so it's HANLON 4judge.com.
And you've got a presence on Facebook.
Facebook, Twitter, all the social media. Any way I can reach voters, help educate them, I'm trying to take advantage of those opportunities.
No, real good. I want to thank you so much for being here. Jim
Thank you.
Hanlon, Democratic candidate for judge, 12th Subcircuit.
Thank you.